Pete, and this is
Metalheads react to hip-hop.
But we should talk about the criteria.
Alright, yeah. So for anyone who cares, we're going to be trying to judge some hip-hop, and the way we're going to go about it is through 4 key components: lyrical flow, lyrical content, the quality of the beat, of course, and the production value, because none of the other stuff matters if it sounds like shit. So, yeah.
We should talk about our backgrounds and what
Yeah.
we've already heard. Like, obviously, we both have heard hip-hop before. And
Yeah, neither of us are anti-hip-hop music, but we definitely spend a bit more of our time sitting inside heavy metal in different forms and genres.
yeah, I think the last time I listened to hip-hop seriously was like in the late 80s, early 90s. With bands like Public Enemy and
Yeah, and me...
Gangstar, stuff like that.
And how old are you?
46.
And I am 31, so we have a little bit of an age gap. And the hip-hop that I predominantly listen to most of the time when I do is a lot more modern hip-hop, because it seems just excessively silly most of the time. I'd never really understood. Like, I have a decent amount of friends who really like hip-hop, and they spend a lot of time saying, like, I like old Wu-Tang, and I like this and that, and it just seems it seems like really pretentious, because, like, you're just a bunch of suburban white kids talking about how Wu-Tang is more important than, than Kanye West is or something, because
I think
their experiences were more real. Well, as they may be more realistic, you still can't relate to either of them. So,
true.
What I'm looking for when I do listen to hip-hop is primarily a strong hook to the song. I want it to be poppy. I want it to have something that snags you right away.
Yeah.
And I personally don't really like a more realistic approach. I like the idea of fantasy and excess to hip-hop music when I do listen to it.
Yeah, like Tyler, the Creator or something like that.
Yeah, it just seems more grandiose. It seems bigger almost just for the sake of being bigger.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, because I think a lot of metal's like that too, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's similar in that way, I think.
And while, the end result is obviously very different, I can't relate to old Wu-Tang songs at all. I can't relate to, Ghostface. None of that stuff really represents with me.
Yeah.
Resonates with me in any real way, whereas it's a lot easier to listen to Cardi B talking about her blood shoes and be mystified by a world that seems so other that is glamorized in modern hip-hop.
Yeah, I think we wanted to do this kind of maybe because we've sort of lost touch with hip-hop, maybe.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to kind of explore what's been going on in the hip-hop community. And I think, like metal, there's a lot of subgenres in hip-hop.
Yeah, it's really easy to make excessive amounts of clear divinations with heavy metal, whether it's death metal or black metal or grindcore or post-rock or whatever you want to say. And it seems to be getting closer to that with modern hip-hop music, whereas, this might be rap, or this might be trap music, or this might be, a house beat with more hip-hop elements on top of it.
Right.
And this might be more traditional R&B. And seemingly because almost all, aside from pop country, really, the pop music that you're hearing on the radio, pop from the standpoint of just popular, is all hip-hop based. There's strong hip-hop elements in almost anything that you're going to hear on I don't know the name of it, but it used to be called Clear Channel, radio station.
Yep.
And it seems to really have grabbed hold for quite some time now. Like, I remember when I was in high school, it was, Notorious B.I.G., and I think he was called Puff Daddy at the time, and More Money, More Problems was something that was coming out, and hip-hop never really left the limelight, whereas it shared the limelight then with, like, I think at that time it was like pop punk was really big as well.
Right. Yep.
But
like Blink-182.
Yeah. Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
But
Try to forget that.
Yeah, it never really went away. It seems more prevalent now than ever, especially when you hear
that's kind of similar to metal when you think about it.
Yeah.
And I think like there are a lot of similarities between the two musics as far as who's making the music. It's like a more working class kind of culture,
there seems to be, and that's...
And like a fringe culture. I mean, at least like the less poppy stuff.
Yeah. I think that the people who make a lot of money off of this are realizing that there's a market for every aspect of it, as opposed to just the ultra glamorous and ultra flashy aspect of it. Yeah.
That's a really small... And it's the same for metal, I think. There's some more not popular. But
there's things that are a lot more refined.
Yeah.
And a lot more, for lack of a better word, posh sounding metal that has really high production value. Or, when you get away from metal, like the only rock you're hearing from a large distribution pop standpoint now is on the radio or anything like that is what's Dave Grohl's terrible band that's been out for a while?
Foo Fighters?
Foo Fighters, yeah. I am begging the Foo Fighters to stop. Just stop. You were the last bastion of hope for rock being popular on radio stations, and you blew it. Dave, you need to get back behind a drum set. Sincerely, a guy with no credentials to criticize you whatsoever.
All right. But to get back to the hip-hop thing. And I think, we're not sure what to react to in this first video, so we're just going to look through the Billboard charts. But I think if you guys want to comment below what you'd like to see us react to, that would be helpful.
Because
especially if you know our backgrounds and that we're more into metal and more maybe less...
for hip-hop that I know that I can enjoy... what is it? I really like a lot of the new Cardi B songs. Or it's probably not even new at this point, but Cardi B's Bodak Yellow is awesome. The heavy section at the end of Niggas in Paris by Kanye West and Jay-Z is awesome. The whole song is fantastic. But the end of it is just like a really heavy synth tone.
That's the one that uses the Led Zeppelin?
I don't know if it is.
Oh no, that's Gangster Paradise. What am I?
But it's like the end of that song is as metal as hip hop could ever get. But it's fantastic. But